In this next part of my shortcut Aikido series, I'm working on tensegrity or structural isometrics. I've got to hold a tension in my body structure. And this here is a recent exercise. It's called the chicken exercise, one of my tensegrity animal exercises. But this is the basic power for martial arts in the arms. See, I'm holding my shoulders up and back, rib cage open, belly pulled in, and I'm squeezing behind. I'm using the back muscles. So this is generating power down the arm. You can see here the chicken wing exercise, but now with an extended arm, I'm applying force, pressing down on my opponent, but I'm doing it from the spine, the back. Shoulder is still up and back. I'm seated in this neutral spine. You can see I've got an S curve in the spine, but the shoulder's up and back, and I'm squeezing the back muscles and the rib cage from behind. See, now he's doing it to me. But also, I'm still maintaining a good structure. It's the same for the other way round. Once you understand the efficiency of body structure, you're always doing the same thing. It's always the same structure, whatever you're doing. You're just learning how to hold it in different variations of isometric tension. See, he's got to hold his shoulder up and back, pull with the back muscles, and then sink his body weight down. It unifies the whole body structure together, and then you move as one. Your body weight will connect to the end of your arm. So now when you've got the idea of this structure, now we can start to do some movement. So here we're starting to do spiraling movement. He grabs my wrist and I do a small circle with my wrist. So that I can do. He's holding, but a small circle I can start off, get to a bigger circle, and now I control his elbow and start to take control of the situation. It's a spiral, a small circle moving into a bigger circle. This is how you can build up power. See, he's holding me very strong. I can't do a big movement, but I can roll my wrist. That I can do. And then starting the movement in the wrist, then starts a bigger motion, and then I can take it and control it. So now he's doing it to me. I grab his wrist. He's taking a small spiral into a big spiral to take control of the situation. And this is spiral power. But again, we start off from the good structure in the body. Once you feel the good structure, then you can start to create these different movements. But now, interestingly, I'm going to take it a bit further. So he starts to turn over, control my elbow like this to control my shoulder. But I've got to use my structure, my control. You can see now here I slip out and do another circle to come all the way around. So once I've got the feeling of circles, it works both ways. I use a circle to apply force, and then I use a circle to get out of force, evade force. And I could come all the way around again and take control. So for example here, if I catch his wrist, then I roll my elbow and go onto his elbow. So I take control of the situation. So once more he does a small spiral, into a big circle rather, then I slip out into another circle. But I'm controlling my elbow from my shoulder, my rib cage, with this chicken wing power. So the chicken wing power is connecting the arm to the spine. And you can see here the rolling circle, it's the rib cage moving. I've got to control the joints. You see, Aikido and all this grappling is about manipulating the joints. I've got to know my joints very well, keep them just in the middle position and then move them from there. I've got to know when they're getting hyperextended. And I've got to be able to move from one joint to the next joint. So if one joint moves too much, I go to the next one. So that's why I've got to use my rib cage and my spine. That gives a bit more motion to my shoulder. He thinks it's the end, he's trying to turn me, but I can go a bit further because I activate my rib cage and my spine and I slip out of it. Now what I'm doing is resisting. See, now he's trying to turn my elbow, lift my elbow up, but I do the chicken wing exercise. Shoulder up and back, I squeeze my back muscles, use the scapula, arching backwards, shoulder up and back, pull down with the obliques, also the oblique muscles, the back muscles, hold the belly in tight. So now he cannot turn my arm. My arm suddenly becomes very strong. So he's trying to turn it, but I don't, and then I slip out. So it depends which way you go. You can resist, or then you can slip out. It's the same principle. You're controlling your own body structure with tension and integrity, and either then you create a movement, or you follow a movement, or you apply a movement. And circular movement is the most efficient. So you find the structure and then apply all these different circular movements to it. So now he's having a go. Now interestingly, you see, this is the secret to all power. Doesn't matter what you do. So now as I'm trying to twist his elbow so he can feel it, he's controlling with the back muscles. pulling the belly in, shoulders up and back. But if he were to create a fist, now he's got a punch. But he's got to do exactly the same thing. I'm trying to lift up his elbow, twist his elbow, but he's got to counteract by pulling down. At the same time as pulling down with his back muscles, lifting his shoulder up and back, but pulling down with his back, pulling the belly in, 1 foot forward. Now with this structure, he could just shift his whole weight forward into the punch. So he's locking his whole body up into a single structure and then moving that structure. So once you've got the feeling of that, you can see how this becomes striking and generating all sorts of power. So now we're doing the opposite, a big circle. So he does an attack, I do a big circle to block, a big circle going into a smaller circle. So now I'm spiraling inwards. First time we were spiraling outwards, now I'm spiraling in. So I circle round, grab his wrist and then turn it into a twist. Now I could apply a wrist lock and control him. So I've done a random block. See, a circle is a good way of blocking. You don't know what's coming, but you circle your arm around and you catch it. Whatever you catch, turn it into a small circle, and I could pull. You can do all sorts of different things from there. Again, turn it round to here and once more come onto the elbow. So I can now do an arm control, either twist him over like before, pull him down, any different thing. But it's the same principle. Find the structure and then move in circles. There, even I'm ducking down, I'm doing a circle and then continuing the circle with my arms and using his force against him. He does a strike in, I catch and pull in. Big circles moving to small circles. You've got to feel this movement through your body and feel the flow. It's a kinetic chain through your body. And once you can feel that and control it, then you can feel it in your opponent and control that. So here, even the legs, now we've locked shin to shin and we're just pushing our knees against each other. But you can see I can create circles with my body weight, sinking into the front foot and applying pressure to his knee. So depending on which way I push my body weight, creating movements with my knee, I can destabilize him. So again, push him in, push him out, push him down. All I'm doing is circular movements from my structure. I'm sinking into a good structure and then you can see here shifting and rolling my knee. Circular movement throughout the whole body structure, creating these waves, this flow of movement. See, the problem is here we hunch over. So now I've lost the power in the spine. I've got to lift my shoulders up and back and arch back a little bit, activate the spine. Not too much, now the belly hangs out. Pull the belly in. So now I've got an upright spine, but it's still a slight backwards arch. My hips are slightly back and my shoulders are slightly back. It allows the natural spine and I can pivot on it. Now I control strength in the arms by using the back muscles, the chicken wing exercise. And I'm in a horse riding stance, sinking down. Now I'm starting to fight. Again, it's not quite fighting, but you can see how I'm pivoting, twisting and creating movements from the spine, from this basic structure, locking into the structure from the back muscles and sinking into my legs, unifying my body weight all together to create strength in this structure. Now you can see with 1 foot forward, again as I'm twisting, creating a force, activating the oblique muscles, lifting the shoulder up and back, squeezing down, but I'm stretching forward, punching forward. So my shoulder is going back, but my hand is going forward. It's a very interesting way of training. See, I'm not doing the obvious movement, I'm moving about and locking up the structure. It's not about punching forward, it's about maintaining the tensegrity. So in other words, it doesn't even matter what you're doing, the only thing I'm doing is maintaining tension and integrity as I move around this particular spinal alignment. Now you can see I'm boxing. But you see it's coming from the spine, mid-spine, through the rib cage, shoulders are up and back, and then I'm twisting from the obliques, holding the belly in tight. Now again you see punch. See, punching is usually just forward. I'm throwing it forward, but it's not forward. I've got to hold the structure. Sink down into the chicken wing exercise, squeeze, and then I just sink forward into my structure with my body weight. That creates the punch. Now if I apply a little bit of a twist through the spine, I've got a really powerful punch, but it comes from the whole structure. This is how we also resist in grappling. See, either I resist or apply. Same thing here now. Immediately, I'm just sinking my body weight onto his arm, applying pressure to him. So that could be a grab, but instead of grabbing, I'm going straight in with a counter attack, straight to the solar plexus. Block and strike. So Aikido and striking, really all martial arts is the same. I mean, you can say what I'm doing here is mixed martial arts. Really, it's just mixed martial arts. But my attention, my focus is on body efficiency. That is the correct body structure. And it's quite unusual what I'm saying is different to most martial arts. It looks a bit more like a dancer. See, a dancer will stand with a nice tall spine, vertical spine. But a dancer still tends to have the shoulders down. They want a long neck. I'm saying shoulders up and back. See, shoulders up and back allows greater mobility of the shoulders, and you're maintaining control of the shoulders and connecting them to the rib cage and the spine. See, when you throw the shoulder too far forward, you've lost that connectivity. So it's all about building power in the spine itself. See, now just twisting and shifting my weight through this spinal alignment, holding the obliques tight. I've got to hold the belly in, and the power comes from there, and I can extend further. I can play with it. So I'm extending it into a straight strike, but it comes from a rotation, a twist in the spine. Everything is this circular movement. The simplest one is just this, twisting the spine. But then I can create all different waves. Here hunching over, not the same. Here up straight vertical, I can pivot more. It's a more efficient pivot in the spine. So I hope this made sense. Do let me know any questions or comments, and do check out my channel. I talk about this in so many different ways. So thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to seeing you in any of these other videos here.